If there's anything the Star Wars fans want right now, it's to know what's up with the second season of The Bad Batch. With the last one ending on a cliffhanger, Disney definitely left its fans wanting more. And if you're anything like us, we're sure you've had your eyes to the ground, waiting for the next recent updates. Don't worry, we've got you covered. In today's video, we'll be giving you all the recent updates. So let's get right into it. Fans have been waiting eagerly for Disney to give updates regarding the release of The Bad Batch's upcoming season, with its first trailer and some exclusive footage released during the Star Wars Celebration Anaheim in May this year. Everyone expected it to bless our screens pretty soon, but months later, there's still no release date in sight. The show was set to premiere in September 2022, but Disney Plus's content list for the month was just released, and there's no slot containing The Bad Batch. It's worth noting that the list included other projects of the Star Wars franchise, such as Obi-Wan Kenobi, A Jedi's Return, and obviously Andor. Now, we can't say that leaving out the show was a mistake made by the streaming platform, because no comments have been made regarding its absence since the list was released almost a week ago. Moving on, the sad note on which the show ended makes this delay even worse. Disney Plus's homepage had everyone hopeful when it briefly stated that the show would in fact be released on the 28th of September. This, of course, had the internet going crazy. Interestingly, no official announcements regarding the date were ever made. It seems like the show's creators are keeping its premiering date a mystery, much like its plot. Up until now, we only know that there's gonna be a time jump between the two seasons, and that the series will still be exploring the adventures of Clone Force 99. We can expect Omega to grow a bit older and finally become her own person. What's more is that the team will be reformed, and their armors will be given a newer look. That's definitely exciting. The CG animated series will be witnessing our favorite bunch of mutated clone troopers transition slowly into some sort of an early rebel cell. They're no longer going to be on the run from the newly formed Empire. We're truly excited about these new developments, but with no updates about the show's release, things are looking slightly bleak. Of course, delayed shows aren't something new for the franchise. That's right, being a Star Wars fan comes with its tests and trials. Obviously, you get top-class content that's gonna leave you wanting more, but sometimes the franchise leaves you hanging for quite some time. Let's take the example of Andor. The much-anticipated show starring Diego Luna was initially set to hit the screens at the end of August. However, recent news has told us that we can expect the show to premiere on the 21st of September. That's too bad for us, isn't it? But hey, in Star Wars' defense, they never really announced the official launch date. For all we know, the launch date that was featured on Disney Plus's homepage for a rather short period could have been a mistake. Well, they should know better than leaving important responsibilities in the hands of the interns. But of course, all this is simple speculation. We'll just have to wait for an official announcement to figure out what's really up with the second season and its premiere. But if it was indeed a delay, then we've got an explanation for that too. If you look at the schedule for different releases Star Wars has planned for this fall, then you'll notice that it's a pretty jam-packed schedule. Earlier this year, during Star Wars Celebrations in May, it was announced that The Bad Batch and Tales of the Jedi will hit the screens towards the end of 2022. And as we now know, both of their premieres have been postponed. But here's the thing, Star Wars' much-hyped series, Andor, is also making its debut on Disney Plus this fall, 21st of September to be more precise. Now, if the second season of The Bad Batch was to get launched around the same time, then we are certain that both of them wouldn't be receiving the attention they deserve. So maybe the decision to put on hold the animated series release was made in order to give Andor some breathing room. Of course, the creators wouldn't want the live-action series to keep away the audience from the CG animated show. It won't be wrong to say that one of the other two shows might premiere on Disney Plus in 2023. This is obviously a piece of bad news for the fans, but it can mean good business for Star Wars. And finally, it's not surprising that everyone is waiting so eagerly for the show. With the story updates we discussed earlier, it sounds like the franchise has another hit on its hands. The series will be returning with Michelle Ang voicing Omega along with D. Bradley Baker as the Bad Batch. The show has Dave Filoni as its executive producer, who's had quite a bit of experience with Star Wars. Filoni will be accompanied by Athena Portillo, Brad Rao, Jennifer Corbett, and Carrie Beck. All of these individuals have had extensive experience with the franchise, but we are certain that they'll be bringing a lot of talent to the show. That's all we have for the delayed release of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. Now, we've got some rather interesting news from the Star Wars universe. Let's catch you up on some other noteworthy noteworthy news items. First up, John Boyega bids farewell to Star Wars. Boyega played the fan-favorite character Finn in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, but unfortunately, it seems like we've seen the last of him. The actor was recently asked in an interview if he'd be reprising his role in the franchise again, and to all of our dismay, the answer was anything but positive. The actor claimed that he has moved on, and that he's cool off it. According to him, he is now in search of versatile roles. This is pretty evident from the fact that his recent works included Breaking and The Woman King. But of course, this doesn't mean that the star holds any hard feelings against the franchise or even Disney. In fact, he talked rather fondly about the platform while recalling Moses Ingram's encounter with some racist fans. He said that Disney had come to Ingram's protection, which made him feel safe and protected as well. Now, isn't that sweet? So it seems like the actor is done with the franchise. After the video games, animation, and obviously Episode 7 and Episode 9, Boyega is ready to bid farewell to the world of Star Wars. We certainly will miss him dearly. Next up, Star Wars Andor has found its audience in an older demographic. It's no surprise that Star Wars has always made content for a somewhat younger audience, but with their new TV series, the creators have come forward saying that they wanted to make a series about real people. Andor, as we've come to know, explores the stories of lowly factory workers and technocrats. These are the characters that aren't always featured in the other Star Wars films and series that we're used to seeing. This precisely was the thought process that led Tony Gilroy here. In a recent interview, the co-writer of the series talked about how the Star Wars franchise usually focuses on royal families, but a huge part of the population gets overlooked every time. He talked about how there are billions and billions of other beings in the galaxies, such as plumbers and even journalists. Gilroy stated that the revolution is affecting them just as much as anybody else. This is the reason why he pursued a rather realistic, passionate, and dramatic storytelling process, and we aren't complaining at all. This fresh new perspective is certainly going to make the series much more relatable to a larger audience, which of course will bring an influx of new fans to the franchise. Now this is some super smart thinking. Finally, Star Wars introduces a new form of villain through Andor. We all know that Andor is expected to be a massive success for the franchise, and it's not only due to its unique storytelling. The series has also managed to introduce some other extraordinary elements which we are sure will be leaving everyone shocked. One of these new elements originates from the new spy thriller genre Star Wars seems to be moving in. It seems that in galaxies far, far away, the problems of our very own world plague society. Yup, we're talking about flaws of bureaucracy and capitalism. This galaxy doesn't give a hoot about the Force and is apparently bungled in its very own unique challenges. The series brings in new types of villains that are more relatable and whose actions in some way or another can actually be justified. Now, if that's not terrifying, we don't know what is. Andor is set to premiere on the 21st of September, and we simply can't wait to binge it. That's a wrap for this video, guys. What do you think of the confusion surrounding the Bad Batch's release? When do you think we'll finally get the confirmation? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this.